Everyone should learn how to fight. Here's why. When I was in most of my life, from primary school to high school, I was always the smallest guy. I went to school a year early, so I was smaller than everyone. Like in primary school, I was smaller than all the girls as well, and it left a big sense of inadequacy in my mind, like all the time. I still am like fucking super smart, but that wouldn't really matter if some guy could just push you over. You know what I mean? But the thing that really turned around for me in 2017, I was playing UFC 2 with my friends, and then I played as this character, still used to be one of my favorite fighters. He doesn't fight anymore, unfortunately, but Chad Mendes, and I played as him, and I always used to flip it. My friends obviously always used to pick Conor McGregor because he was like obviously going to pick Conor McGregor, and I went and chose Chad Money Mendes, shorter than me. I'm like not the tallest guy in the world. I'm about 5'9", but he's a short guy, and he had this overhand right he would throw. He was a wrestler, but he threw his overhand right would KO like fucking any fighter in the featherweight division in the game. And he was flipping good in real life as well. But playing as him and like seeing like, okay, so it looks like fighting's about skill. Let me look into this. Maybe I'll look into it. I watched UFC 216. 215 or 216, Demetrius Johnson fought someone. I think he fought Ray Borg. That's when he landed a fucking, this thing is like superhero shit, right? He landed a suplex into an armbar. And like, that's ridiculous. In real life, that is fucking ridiculous. Like, that never happened. It hasn't happened since. It's only happened once and he did it. And like, if you watch WWE, you'll see stupid shit like that all the time. No offense to professional wrestling, it's an incredibly difficult sport. But in an actual fight, that's unheard of. So I was like, what the fuck? And the next fight I watched was UFC 217 or 218, Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee. That was also a really good one. And then I stuck with it. I was like, whoa, this shit's super interesting. And then 2018, I decided to join an MMA gym. And that was really when shit got real for me, because I had not been someone who'd ever played sport. If you saw younger pictures of myself, you could tell I never played sport. But when I went to the gym, it was like, whoa, people take shit seriously. I'd never been in a spot where people took things seriously. All the activities I did were like played video games. Was very much into like nerd shit. I paid a lot of attention. I've been paying a lot of attention through at least 18 of my 21 years. I've just been paying attention. That's my biggest currency is fucking attention. But I never realized like, whoa, people take things seriously. And then I got there, and I think the first or second time I trained at this gym, we started sparring already. And like some people will be like, oh, it's unsafe. Like, we only spar to the body. You needed to have a mouth guard and at least like a month of training before you could spar properly. And no one was going hard. If you went hard, the coach would fucking kick you out. That bro was heavy duty. He would not allow. He was a former champion in the EFC. He's a former light heavyweight champion in the EFC. I don't know if I want to mention his name just for his own. Yeah, there's nothing bad about him, but I don't know if he wants his name to be mentioned online. You know what I mean? He was an amazing fighter. Yes, that guy would fuck us up if in a good way. To teach us, he wouldn't, because he could easily kill us if he wanted to. But yeah, and then my second time going, I sparred there with an old guy. The guy was like 70 years old now, and he was whooping my ass, but I was like, people don't realize this. Guys don't realize this, no? You are gonna get fucked up in your first fight if you don't know anything. Even if you're a big guy. A bro who's 6'2" and doesn't know how to fight, I will fucking beat his ass 9 out of 10 times. If he doesn't land the first punch, he's eating the fucking floor. And I'm not a big guy. I'm not a fucking vain person either. I'm not saying it to be like, oh, look at me, look at my muscles, I'm so much cooler. No, I know what I do. I can murder people. Not that I want to. You know what I mean? If I kept a rear naked choke long enough, you die. I don't want to do that. But learning all these things, I was like, whoa, this 70-year-old dude could have fucked me up easily. I was like, there's something here. And then I stuck with it. And then I started learning like Muay Thai is a beautiful sport. It's rough as fuck, but it's a beautiful sport to learn. You learn how to use every single part of your body to hurt someone. But Muay Thai and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu combo together, that is basically most of mixed martial arts. It's insane. Elbows, knees, like flipping punch straight into an elbow. Like, you wouldn't think to do that as a normal person. You think you can because you see it in movies. As a normal person, this is what you're gonna do in your first fight. You're gonna punch like this. Your hands are gonna be here on the floor, and you're gonna do this. Your whole face is open, bruh. This is the first thing you learn in boxing. Hands up. You don't do that automatically. If you go to a boxing class, you will realize what you do automatically is this. You look like a dumbass. Our natural fighting ability is fucking useless. Okay, this is wild. So, the only time we'll fight is when we're enraged. Naturally, we only fight when we have to. And when you're enraged, you're obviously not thinking properly. So you're not gonna think to protect yourself. You're just gonna be full force. You know what I mean? That shit doesn't work. All the guys in the UFC, all the girls in the UFC, they can kill 99% of people in a regular first fight. You're gone. Game over. Bye. Kill. Not hurt. Not knock you out like in cartoon shows. This is what a lot of guys think fighting's like. It's like in a cartoon where you get knocked out and you wake up and there's like a plaster on your head. You remember in Ed and Eddie when the guys that fucking like die, like they get their ass kicked and they just come back with plasters out of nowhere. But that's how a lot of people think of fighting is. A lot of young guys think that's what fighting is. A lot of young girls think that's what fighting is. It's like, oh fuck, then you're done. No, you can die. Violence is fucking horrible. Fighting is beautiful. It's transforming something that can be so destructive into something gorgeous. Like watching a real fight is like a professional fight is next level, bro. These guys put their lives on the line. Either those girls can kill each other. Legit. But there's rules and they play their sport and they have excellent technique. Nothing's loose. Everything is tight and perfect. And not enough people know that at all. That's why the idea of toxic masculinity, I don't disagree with it. There's definitely toxic people who are men. But the idea that masculinity is toxic is fucking, that's dumb. Some men are dumb. Yes, their idea of masculinity is cuck stupid. It's bad. It's wrong. They don't have the right idea. When you have a true idea of masculinity, whether you're male or female, when you understand what true masculinity is, you understand how beautiful it is. Same way when you understand what true femininity is, it is fucking beautiful. Obviously, I'm going to emphasize femininity being more beautiful because I'm a heterosexual man, but true masculinity is protecting, strength, competence, purpose. And you can't protect anyone if you can't protect yourself. I don't give a fuck what you think. The government can't protect you if you can't protect yourself. If you don't know your rights, look, even in a judicial way, if you don't know your rights, who the fuck's gonna protect you? Your lawyer that you can't afford. The police that are incompetent. You have to learn to protect you, especially as a man. And as a man, you have to learn to protect others as well. That's why fighting is so important for everyone. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is important. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the number one. If you need any self-defense skill, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you've ever seen a fight, if you went to a Rafa high school, if in a regular fucking high school, we didn't go to a fucking private school. When you saw fights, how many times did they end up on the ground? How many times do you see a fight in the street where it stay, oh, hands up, oh, fighting like men? They always end up on the ground, always ends up rough. And the number one thing you learn when you actually learn how to fight, the number one thing you learn, that above keeping your hands up, above moving your shoulders, above all the technique, above everything, the number one thing you learn is that you never want to get in a real fight. That's what none of them will tell you. You will learn that you never want to get in a real fight. You never want to experience true violence. Because when you are sparring with someone and they could easily murder you. Easily, bro. I could do it too to some people, but okay, I don't want to sound arrogant. I'm pretty good actually, but I'll say like 30% of the people I've sparred with could probably kill me. I usually spar with bigger guys, and they have to hold back their power. It's the game. We spar them. We're not fighting. It's a game. They have to hold back some of their power. I have to hold back some of my speed and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's obviously a bit easier for me because I'm a smaller guy. I don't have to hold back as much, but they definitely have to hold back. Doesn't feel like they do sometimes. As some of my friends can hit hard. But they could easily kill me. And in other situations, I could easily kill them. When my friends are covered over me, tired like this, you know, like just nothing left in them, and I'm like throwing punches. Like if this was like in a crowd, like back in the day, dead. And you realize in those moments, you realize that's what. You realize in those moments, those small liminal moments of yo, this bro could kill me, or yo, I could kill this guy. You realize what strength is. Strength isn't using your ability to kill someone and doing it. That's weak. That's insecure. Strength is protection. Masculinity is protection. You see what I'm trying to get at? Yeah. Your outlook on life will change so much when you learn to fight. You will realize who the fakers are and who the real people are. Because as much as we hate to think of it, our physicality and our mentality are so closely linked. Our brain and our bodies are on the same meat vehicle. I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. All guys know their physicality and their mentality are linked. Just think of certain pictures and some part of your physicality will react. So same with your capabilities. Your capabilities and your mentality are linked. If you can't fight, you know you can't fight. So if someone's gonna come up to you wanting to fight, you're gonna okay, let's do it. Let's fight. And if that guy knows what he's doing, that's what it's really like. You'll realize you never want to get into a real fight. You don't want violence. You want to see fight. You want to fight, but you don't want violence. And it gets that fucking pent up anger so much people have it they don't realize. I don't know what it is that people think that they all fucking angels. None of us are angels, bro. No one. We all have fucking demons in our heads. All of it, everyone. That's the thing. When you, it's like we all grow up thinking like, oh, this part of me is bad and only I have it. Everyone thinks everyone has bad thoughts. The 7 deadly sins are for everyone. We all have pride, gluttony, greed, wrath. What's the other one? Lust and envy. All of us experience all of that. And they're all sins. Equally bad. We all miss the mark somehow. But you have to acknowledge where you fucking miss the mark as well. And that's where you can grow the most. I had to realize, okay, I'm just gonna give an example for myself. I realized for myself that I'm envious of a lot of men. And envious of a lot of other people's lives. So I figured out like, why? Why am I doing that? I've worked through it and now I don't care about... I'm such a giving person because I realized how stupid envy was. Envy was making myself feel worse. Hoping that someone else's life would be worse because of it. Do you see how far that link is? Do you see how useless that energy of envy is? Now instead I want to make people's lives better. Because why the fuck not? Why wouldn't I want more men and women to be able to fight and understand themselves when they learn to fight? That's a big thing also. You understand yourself when you fight. You understand, yo fuck, I'm not that strong. But you can get stronger. You understand where your place is in the physical sense. More or less, you're like, yo, I'm grateful that this guy's helping me get better as a person, as a man, as a fighter. You know, we spent how many flippin' generations fighting everything? Hunter-gatherer times, 200,000 years ago when our brains were developing, we were just fighting, bro, fighting. Now we're like fighting demons in our head. Not invalidating that, it's fucking, it's difficult. But get your physicality involved, fight. And as you can see, I had a sparring session yesterday. I got some, yeah, my nose is even swollen. But yeah, I got some good, I love it. And there's nothing arbitrary about it. You learn so much. I want that for all of you.